Before we even get the saw running, let's talk about just some safety features on a chainsaw. So this is an older saw. It's by no means new. You can see it's a little weathered, a little oily, a little gritty, but it's been a real good running saw for me. One of the things to actually pull the trigger in or the throttle in, you need to have your hand on here. What they don't want is just something to bump and hit that and have it take off. The other thing is what they call a chain brake. So what happens is this thing comes back, boom, it stops the chain from spinning. It's supposed to. Oh, that was it. Chain brake was already engaged. That's what happens. What happens is if the chain comes back, you trip the brake, your chain stops almost instantly, and it's stuck. So that way, if you were to have this chain kick back, it wouldn't cut you as bad. Still, it would be bad. Now, if you notice the chainsaw, it can cut on top, the tip, and the bottom. But when you're using a saw, you really want to stay away from using that tip, because what happens is, if you picture the, hold on here. You picture the chain rolling around like that, right? So it's going to be grabbing the wood right there on the tip. What's it going to do? It's going to want to force the saw back, and they call that a kickback. And a lot of people get hurt from kickbacks because you have a spinning chain flying back, and you might engage your brake, but maybe not fast enough.
When you're looking at the tip, do not cut anything in this kind of area. Anywhere on this side, do not use that side to cut anything. It's just a precaution to avoid any kickback. Now I'm gonna attempt to try to start this without any prior knowledge of how to start a chainsaw. This ought to be fun. This isn't scripted, this is for real. I'm assuming this is important. That's your choke, right? What is that? That looks important too.
Look at that, that's a little tip right there.
Okay, there you go. Oh, there's something with it. You just said something with this, right?
You're missing one step.
Oh yeah, this part here.
One step, Kyle. That brake's engaged now, just so you know.
Oh, it is. Nope.
When it goes out, it clicks on, so
Okay.
the chain cannot spin. The problem is you're missing one important step.
I'm missing one important step. Push that in right there.
That's a choke. You just push that in, great.
All right.
What else is there, Kyle?
There's a little bit of a...
When you get into your car, you turn.
Oh, there you go, right there.
There we go. Oh man, he's turning it over. Keep trying. Saw hasn't ran in a while. All right. You might have flooded it.
I think some knowledge here might help me. So, Kendal, will you please teach me how to start this bad boy? Because I don't know what I'm doing.
All right, so here on this saw, in order to get it started, one of the easiest, or one of the things that's going to save your arm and your hand is pushing in the blue decompression valve. Get that pushed in. This is your choke. You're going to pull the choke out when the engine is cold and pull on it until it fires once. And then once it fires, then you push the choke in, and then it should start up and run good. This saw has already been run, should be a little warm. So we'll push the decompression valve in, turn the ignition switch on, and we should be able to pull and start it. Go.
All right, here we go.
So if your saw won't start, here's the 3 things I'm going to check right away that'll probably solve your problem. First thing is I'm going to check and make sure that there's gas in the saw. Sometimes there's no gas in the saw and it needs gas to run. Second thing I'm going to check would be the air filter, which in this saw is underneath this cover here, right in this area. On most saws, it's right above the carburetor that's in there. Some of them just have cover you can pop off. This one you've got to undo some screws.
You could do a simple Google search and find out where your air filter is on your model.
Yep. And then the last thing I'm going to check will be the spark plug. Pull that out, see if it's all wet and flooded. You can even lay it in there and pull on it and see if you can see a spark. Because if you got no spark, it won't start.
Show me where the spark
also
plug
the
is
thing
on
to check
this.
then would be your on-off switch. Like, do you have your saw turned on? Does it have gas, air filter, spark plug? There's 4 things actually. So this chainsaw right here has been flooded, which just basically means there's too much gas inside the engine. It gets too much gas and not enough air, so it won't run. So these are some things that I would try. You can hold the trigger wide open and pull on it at the same time. The risk of this maneuver is that as soon as the saw starts, it's gonna rev up real high, right? And your chain's gonna be spinning like crazy. You have to be careful when you do that. You don't wanna do anything dumb. If that gets it running, great. If not, the next step is gonna be to take the cover off, take out the spark plug, try and get it dried off, put it back in and see if it'll fire. That's really not that much fun at all. So hopefully you don't have to do that. Oh, you see that?
You know, some hope, a glimmer of hope.
Come on. There it is. Okay. Once you get the saw started, after that it's just simple on-off, pushing the decompression valve. So when you're cutting with a chainsaw, one of the really common things that happens to beginners is their saw gets stuck or pinched in the cut. Because as you cut something, it might begin to move or fall. And so let's just talk about some real basic things on how to not get your saw pinched in your cut. So if you've got a piece of wood, and we've got some old junk slabs here that we're gonna do something with, mainly just cut them into firewood. All right, so here we've got this slab. If I were to cut in the middle right here, Kyle, which way do you think it would fall?
Down.
Probably go down, right?
Yep.
But if I'm cutting from the top and it starts to pivot down,
It's gonna pinch.
It's gonna pinch.
So then over there,
But over here, if I were to cut from the top, what's it gonna do? It's gonna fall down, right?
It'll fall away.
It's gonna fall away. But if I were to cut it from the bottom, what would happen?
It's gonna pinch.
It's gonna pinch. So whenever you're cutting, you wanna pay attention to where the weight is coming from or how it's gonna fall.
Gravity plays a big part.
Yes, gravity is very consistent. This is an incorrect way to cut this because I'm gonna come from the bottom and I believe it's gonna pinch me. We'll find out. I got stuck. Cut from the top. No problem. But over here, you're going to want to fall down the center. So on this cut, I do want to come from the top. Voila. Now we have this. I'm stuck. What you want to do in that situation is come from underneath, and then you won't get stuck. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Hey, this guy's single, just in case anybody out there needs someone. Just saying. Huh, Kyle?
It's not even recording. Oh, it is.
Yeah, it is. I got that one.
Son of a gun.
Okay, so how do you start it, Kyle? Tell us how you do it.
Then you push the blue button in, which is your
Decompression.
decompression, yeah. You pull the little stop sign out.
Yep.
And you go. Don't need the choke because we already got it started before. ladies and gentlemen, is how you run a chainsaw. There you go.
This is so great because now Kyle won't have to ask me to cut stuff for him anymore because now he knows how to run a chainsaw.
Now I'm kind of
It's
screwed.
the best thing that's happened to me in the last year and a half since he started working for me.
Yep. And you know, as much as it is nice to not have to do this, it is quicker so I can get the customers the lumber that they need and move on to the next customer I can help. We got the cuts. I think I did a pretty good job of learning what the heck it is, what I need to do to get a chainsaw going anyways.
Super. So it would be fair to note that every chainsaw is different. In fact, I have different chainsaws here and they are a little different. So you do need to learn the proper starting procedures, probably look in the manual or figure out what's going on with the saw. But that particular saw, it's the decompression valve, the on and off switch, and then the choke if you need it, if it hasn't been.
That chainsaw was rough though.
So, Kyle, why did you need to cut all this wood up anyway?
Well, I was gonna cut it up so I could eventually split it, and then I was gonna bundle it up and sell it to local people in the area for firewood bundles.
Kyle, I got
campers.
Piles and piles and piles of cut and split firewood back there already.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Where have you been?
By the way, if you're going to be camping in the central Minnesota area this summer, feel free to stop in and check out our bundles of split and seasoned pine firewood. You can find our location on Google, and we're compliant with all Minnesota firewood regulations, so you can move this firewood anywhere you need. Whether you need a full cord or just a bundle, we've got you covered. And don't forget to ask about our slab-wood bundles for even more great options. See you there.
Oh my God. This whole time?
Yeah.
I didn't even need to do that.
Well, we can burn this in our boiler, so that'll be good. Good job, Kyle.
Jeez. Ah. Oh boy.
It'll be done in a second.
Ah, the wind and the dust in my face, in my pretty camera face.
You know the basics and how to cut wood with your chainsaw, but it's basically useless without knowing how to properly sharpen the dang thing.
Now this video right here shows you how Kendal sharpens his chainsaw like a pro. He also talks about what to do with your rakers and why they are crucial for getting the most out of your cuts.
So you're not gonna want to overlook this one.
We forgot to point. See you there, lumber lovers.
We did.
Starts